Hey everyone, how are you guys doing today? Well, WBA featherweight champion Nick Ball, who is on a 23-0-1 streak right now, he owns 13 knockouts, takes on his mandatory challenger. And look, say what you will about mandatory challengers, it is what it is at this point, right? Brandon Figueroa, who is 26-2-1, who looks to become a 3-division weight champion. It's the 4th title defense for Nick Ball, who is on a 4-fight win streak since his draw with Ray Vargas. Now look, I think that fight was so paper thin, I actually gave it to Ray. I really did. I think he did just a little bit more in the fight. Anyways, Nick was able to chop down Ray Vargas pretty well, and he might and probably will be able to do the same to Figueroa, who has even a bigger size advantage than Ray did. Figueroa is slightly more measured at range than Vargas is, but he likes to fight on the inside, and that's odd. Yeah, I'll say it's odd for someone of that size to like fighting on the inside compared to truly controlling distance with a jab. But before we get more into this boxing prediction, guys, please like the video, share it, hit that subscribe button. Down below, you tell me what you think about the featherweight division right now. There's some upheaval happening in the division. Tell me what you think about this fight. Ask me questions. I'll answer anything. But anyways, so will Brandon's 7.5-inch reach advantage be a key factor in this fight? I mean, how can it not be? Except, like I said, Figueroa isn't somebody that truly uses distance well, right? Nick Ball likes to push the pace. He's high volume, and that's a style that Figueroa likes as well. Here's the deal. Neither one of these fighters fights well on their back foot. They both like fighting in the phone booth, and I don't know if there'll be head clashes, but I can see a lot of holding in this fight. The fact that Nick Ball only went to decisions with Isaac Dogbo and Raymond Ford bother me. I think so. If he's truly as talented as he should be, he should have finished both of those guys. And I like both of them, especially Raymond Ford. But it's concerning. Figueroa is able to switch stance, which I don't see that bothering Nick Ball that much. I think Cool Boy Steph wrote the book on how to handle Figueroa. Now, is Ball as talented technically as Cool Boy Steph is? No, I don't think so. We'll get into later someone who I think is just as technically sound. I believe that Figueroa is just different since Cool Boy Steph. And look, it could have just been, styles make fights, right? But he is 4-2 in his last 6, and yes, that is a quote-unquote winning record, but he just looks so different since Cool Boy. I don't think Cool Boy Steph took Figueroa's soul or anything. It's not like a Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder situation, but he just looks different. And I'm not ready to say Brandon Figueroa is washed either, because I don't think he is. Ball is a victim of getting a quick rise, and I'm not saying he's not deserving. You know, he does have a lot of tools. He has a sneaky left uppercut, which I think is going to be used in this fight a lot. He has a nasty, nasty left hook, which I assure you, with them fighting in close, is going to be used a lot. As a matter of fact, I think both will go to the body throughout this fight. I could see one, if not both of them, taking a knee from a liver shot, because if you take a really solid liver shot, your body just shuts off. So I can see knees being taken in this fight. Neither one of them fight well going backwards, which is a problem. Brandon Figueroa is more of a composed fighter between the two of them, okay? So Nick needs to be wary of coming in recklessly, because even though he has a high guard, and I think Figueroa can punch through that guard, he can very easily be countered because of recklessness. So he has to be aware of that. That's why I think the uppercut that he throws is going to be a factor in this fight. Also because Figueroa keeps his head on the center line. If he had more head movement, I mean, neither have good side-to-side movement, honestly. But if Figueroa could move his head a little bit more, you know, maybe I would lean a little bit more towards Brandon. One thing that seriously bothers me about Nick Ball is the fact that when he became champion, he didn't look to unify. He wasn't calling out other champions. He's too busy calling out Inoue to move up from 126. Don't worry about other divisions, man. I really hate that when fighters do that. You get a strap, look to unify. If you want to worry about another division, then you move to the other division. Okay? Look, I don't care if he would have called out Angelo, Leo, or Espinoza. Okay? And for more than a year now, Shushu has been calling out Nick Ball. And now that Shushu has the WBC strap, maybe that fight could be made. Maybe Nick Ball will now look at Shushu as the easiest target he can have, which, by the way, is going to be a huge mistake. You know, we just saw Shushu have to go through adversity, and he came flying through it. I want to see an upset. I want to say Brandon Figueroa could win this fight. But he doesn't cut the ring off. For someone that size, which is I'd say a pretty big negative. You know, if you have such a huge size advantage, you have to be able to cut the ring off. You know, slow your opponent down, keep him in a corner, keep him up against the ropes. And that's not something Figueroa is able to do successfully. I don't think Nick Ball will come into this fight and play games like he did against Sam Goodman. I think he's going to take this fight seriously. This is his toughest challenge to date, which is crazy that he was calling out, you know, Inoue, because Inoue would light Nick Ball up. I think Figueroa can hurt Ball. I do. I truly believe that. But I think when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, Nick Ball wins this fight. And I think this fight, I don't think Nick Ball will be as reckless. I mentioned that before, and he has to be aware of it. I think we're going to see a different Nick Ball in this fight. One that is more punch effective than just swinging wildly. And that's why I think this fight ends in round 9 by knockout. I think he's just honing in himself right now. Now, does he call out Shushu? I hope so. I hope the fight gets made. I think Shushu can unify. I think Shushu beats Nick Ball hands down. But as far as Brandon Figueroa and Nick Ball go, I have to pick Nick Ball. He's at home. So I'm not saying that the judges are going to lean towards him. It's just that home field advantage. He'll have the crowd behind him. Even though this is his toughest challenge, I think he's going to come through it. I really do. 9th round, knockout, Nick Ball, and still. So that's the fight prediction. Again, I really do see both of these guys taking a knee to liver shots. Maybe a couple of head clashes or head to chin clashes. A lot of holding. This is going to be not a master class. This is going to be a lot of holding. But I think Nick Ball gets the job done at the end of the day. 9th round knockout, Nick Ball. Guys, please like the video. Share it. Punch that subscribe button. Get your friends to subscribe to the channel. Down below, tell me what you think about the featherweight division. You tell me what you think about Nick Ball. Who Nick Ball should fight next. And tell me who you think Brandon Figueroa would fight if he throws the upset. So, until the next video, Cyclone saying, peace out, homies.